My name is Theo, and let's go. Oh, yeah? Animal by lunchtime. What for? No, I think I'm just saying in that. Harry could see Uncle Vernon signing black shoes passing. I'm not having one on in the house. Mom didn't. What we worse were when we took him in with the same out that dangerous necessities. That evening, then he got back from work. Uncle Vernon did something he never done before. He visited Harry in his cupboard. "Where's my letter?" said Harry. The moment Uncle Vernon had Squeezy thought the door. "Who's writing to me?" "No one." "It was addressed to you by mistake," said Uncle Vernon shortly. "I had burned it. It was not a mistake." And Harry, angry, it had my cupboard on it. "Slimes!" yelled Uncle Vernon, and a couple of spiders. Spider fell from the ceiling. From tail fell, he took a few deep breaths and then turned his face into a smile, which looked quite painful. Yes, Harry, about this cupboard. Your aunt and I have been thinking you're really getting a bit big for this. We think it might be nice if you move into Dolly's second bedroom." "Why?" said Harry. "Don't ask questions," snapped his uncle. "Take the stuff upstairs now." Dolly's house had 4 bedrooms. On one for Uncle Vernon and Aunt Purdy. "Move everything," he out from the cupboard to his room. He sat down on the bed and stared around him. Nearly everything here was broken. The month-old cine camera was lying on top of a small working tank Dolly had once driven next door's dog. In the corner was Dolly's first favorite programs. Had been cancelled. There was a large bird cage, which had once had a parrot that Dolly had swept a school for real airwolf, which was up on a shelf with the end all bent because Dolly had sat on it. Other shelf was full of books. They were only things in a room. They looked as they thought never been touching. From downstairs came the sound of Dolly spelling on his mother. "I don't want him in there. I need that room. Make him get out." Harry sighed and stretched out of the bed. Yesterday he'd have given anything to be up here. Today he'd rather be back in his cupboard with a letter that we're here without it. Next morning at breakfast, everyone was rather quiet. Dolly was in shock. He'd screamed, whacked his father with his smelling stick, been sick on purpose, caged his mother, and thrown his tortoise to the greenhouse roof, and he still didn't have his room back. Harry was thinking about this time yesterday and bitterly wishing he'd opened the letter in the hole. Uncle Vernon and Aunt Pennant kept looking at Catch other darkly. When the post arrived, Uncle Vernon, who seemed to be trying to be nice to Harry, made Dolly go and get it. They heard him be banging things with a smelling stick all the way down the hall. Then he shouted, "Another one on, Mr. Potter!" The smallest bedroom, 4 River Drive. With a strange cry, Uncle Vernon leaped from his seat and ran down from the hall. Harry right behind him. Uncle Vernon had to wait steadily to get the ground to get the letter from him, which was made difficult by the fact that Harry had grabbed Uncle Vernon around the neck from behind. After a minute of causing fighting, in which everyone got his allot by the smelling stick, Uncle Vernon changed up, gasping for breath, with Harry's letter clutched in his hand. "Go to your cupboard, I mean, your bedroom," he whizzed at Harry. "Dudley, go, just go." Harry walked round his new room. Someone knew he had moved out his cupboard, and they seemed to know how to refuse the first letter. Surely that meant they would try again, and this time, he'd made sure they didn't fall. Ah! Harry leaped into the air. He trod on something big steadily on the doormat, something alive, a leg's leg, on the upstairs into his horror. Harry realized that the big ghastly something had been his uncle's face, for Uncle Vernon had been lying at the foot of the front door in the sleeping bag, clearly making sure that Harry didn't do excellent acting. What he'd been trying to do, he shouted at Harry for about half an hour, and then told him to go and make a cup of tea. Harry slipped massively up into the kitchen, and by the time he got back, the post had arrived right into Uncle Vernon's lap. Harry could see the 3 letters addressed in green ink. "I want," he began, but Uncle Vernon was teaching the letter into spies before his eyes. Uncle Vernon didn't go to the work that day. He stayed home and made up the letter, except the peanut butter mouthful names, and I'm not sure that they'll work. Oh, there's people on work all the strange ways, Lieutenant. They're not like you and me," said Uncle Vernon, trying to knock a nail with the piece of first cake Aunt put on. Uncle Vernon stayed home again. After burning all the letters, he got out hammer and nails and bored up cracks out around the front back doors, and no one could go out. He hummed tiptoe through the tulips as his word, and jumped all small noise. On Saturday, things began to get out of hand. 24 letters to Harry found their way into the house, rolled up and hidden inside each of the 2 dozen eggs that the very confident milkman had had in Aunt Patton thought the living room window while Uncle Vernon made for his telephone call the post office and Derry trying to find someone complain to. Aunt Vernon seen the letters in her food bag. "Sir, who on earth wants to talk to you this badly?" Dudley asked Harry innocent. On Sunday morning, Uncle Vernon sat down. Uncle Vernon saw his Harry around the waist, thrusting him into the hall. When Aunt Putnam and Dudley had run out with their arms over their face, Uncle Vernon slammed the door shut. They could hear the letter still streaming into the room, bouncing off the walls and floor. "That does it, the beginning of the," said Uncle Vernon. "Shakes 'em off," he would mutter. He never cheated. Then they didn't stop to eat or drink all day. By nightfall, Dudley was howling. He never had such a bad day in his life. He was hungry. He didn't miss 5 television programs. He didn't want to see. He never gone too long without blowing up a line on his computer. Looked around, shook his head, got back in the car of the worked again. The same thing on that. It's Monday, he told his mother. The great hamburger is on tonight. I want to stay somewhere with a television. Monday, let's remind Harry of something. Was Monday and you could usually count on the list to know the days of the week. A night fell. The spray mist from blew up around them, spray from the highways and the walls. Other hut and tribes want wild rallies at the 50 windows. Unbeknownst row a few mouldy planks in the second room and made up a bed comfortably on the mom's eating sofa. She and Uncle Vernon went up the lumpy bed next door, and Harry was left to find the fourth. The storm raged more and more violently as the night went on. Harry couldn't sleep. He turned over, trying to get comfortable, his stomach rumbling with hunger. Dudley's sore were down by the rolls out under the radar near midnight. The chief dealer of the Dudley's watch, which was a dingle laying over the edge and silver on his fat told Harry he'd been 10 minutes time. He then watched his birthday tick nearer, wondering if the Dudleys would remember at all, wondering that where the little winter was now. 5 minutes ago, Harry heard something creak outside of the roof. 3 minutes to go, the route into the sea. 1 minute to go, it'd be 11. 30 seconds, 20, 10, 9, maybe he'd wake Dudley up, just go at him. 3, 2, 1, boom! The wall snapped water and Harry sat bolt upright, starting at the door and was outside knocking to the incoming. Boom! The knock again. Dudley stayed awake. Where's the corner? He said stupidly. There was a crash behind them and Uncle Vernon came skidding into the room. He was holding a knife in his hand. Now they knew he had been in the lawn. They packed back he had brought with them. Who's there? Then smash! The door was hit with such force that it swung clean off its hinges and with a deafening was standing. So we have the strong and snacky. That make his eyes squinting like a black beetle under all the hair. The giant squeezed his way into the herd, stopping so that his head bursting. Door finished easily back